Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lana, and in my channel previously I talked a lot about, how to learn Korean or how to get into a college in Korea, something like that. So following that, I wanted to add more videos about working in Korea, legally, and residing in Korea for longer terms. So when it comes to living abroad, not only Korea, but any country that you go to, the first thing that you have to get into, besides everything, is to get the proper visa that would allow you to work and live in the country legally with no problems. So when I first came to Korea, I got my master's degree for 2 years, and then afterwards, I was looking for the visa that would allow me to, work and live here. And then after searching for a long time, I found the perfect visa. It's a long-term residence visa, which is F2 visa in Korea. So today I'm going to talk about how I got that visa and what kind of requirements or conditions you have to be in order to get that visa. So let's get into the video. So before getting into the qualifications of getting the F2 visa, let's first talk about what the F visa, what the F what the F2 visa is first. So if you have been researching about visas in Korea, you should have probably heard about the visa called E7, because it's like the most classic working visa in Korea. So whether you graduated from undergrad or grad in Korea and then you go into a company to work, then you should get the E7 visa, right? And then the company should sponsor you for that visa, because that's what most people do. But I kind of skipped the E7 visa and I straight went to F2 visa. So what's the reason, why I did that? And then, what's the biggest difference between the E7 visa and the F2 visa? So let's start first with the E7 visa. So the E7 visa is the classic working visa. With the E7 visa, you should only work in the field that you graduated from. So let's say, for example, you graduated from a business administration or marketing, major, then you should only work in that field. So let's say you graduated from a law degree, but then you want to work in the Korean media entertainment field, then the E7 visa would not allow you to do it. And then the other one is with the E7 visa, whether you want to change company, whether you move into another company, then every time you change your job, you have to report. You have to go into the immigration office yourself and you have to report it. So that way the E7 visa is kind of, in a way it's restricted and limited. And then the E7 visa would only allow you to do full-time job in a company. So if you want to do part-time or if you want to do freelancing, it's not that good. And then, it's kind of, as I said, it's kind of limited. But on the other hand, the F2 visa it's kind of more free, I would say. You can work in any field you want. So you graduate from law degree, you want to work in a beauty field, yes, go ahead. Nobody cares, right? So with the F2 visa, you can work in any field you want, and then if you want to change jobs, go ahead again. You don't need to report your changing jobs. And then also another one is you can work either working, full-time or freelancing. Either way, it's okay. As long as you kind of have a stable income that's coming, into your bank account every month, then nobody cares whether you're doing full-time or part-time, whatever, right? So in a way, F2 visa is really good, because as a person, myself, who want to try working in different fields and then working full-time, and if I get a little tired, I want to switch into freelancing for a bit and then maybe go back into full-time, something like that. F2 visa would allow me to do it, but then with the E7 visa I would not be able to do it. So that's why I straight applied for the F2 visa. So if you're someone like me, if you want to try different jobs, or just kind of work in different fields, or maybe work two, 3 jobs, maybe you have one full-time job and then have some freelancing, gigs on the side, then F2 visa would be a more suitable type for you. So that is what F2 visa is about. Now let's get into how I got my F2 visa. So the type that I got is F2-7. So this is a point system, right? So you're probably wondering what point system is. So I actually have my this paper with me, so I actually printed out from the immigration office center, the website. So the point system is you basically collect points in order to get this visa. So out of the total point should be 120. So out of 120, if you get more than 80 points, then you're eligible for F2 visa. So how you can get the points? It depends on your age, your educational background, your income, and then your Korean, proficiency and everything. So let me just go through it first, right? So the first one, the first thing that comes to the point system is your age. So for example, if you're aged from 18 to 24, then you get 23 points. Or if you are aged from 25 to 29, then you get 25 points, something like that. So I will kind of put the point system like picture here somewhere that you can look closely. And then the next one is your educational background. So if you got your what's that, bachelor's degree, then you get 15 points. But if you got your master's degree in Korea, then you get 17 points. And if you got your PhD, then you get 20 points. So the higher degree you are in, that you graduated from in Korea, then higher points you are getting, right? And then the next one is your Korean proficiency. So in Korean, just like how we have TOEFL, IELTS, TOEIC in English, in Korean we have TOPIK, TOPIK exam. So TOPIK exam, goes from level 1 to level 6. Level 1 being the total beginner, level 6 from being the highest advanced, right? So if you have, TOPIK level 1, you get 3 points. But if you have over TOPIK level 5, then you get 20 points. So the better your Korean language is, the more points you get. And then the next one is your income. So if you just graduated and then you made working contract with the company that you are gonna be working, of course in your contract they would assume, they would state what kind of how many salary you're getting, monthly or yearly, right? So in Korean usually they go by yearly income. So here it says if your yearly income is less than 30 million, then you get 10 points. But if your yearly income is 30 to 40 million, then you get 30 points. So again, the higher your salary is, the more points you are getting. And the one thing that I want to point out is most of the people that are getting into F2 visa, they usually get either 10 points or 30 points because nobody gets like 50 million, something like that, from their first job, right? Maybe you're you have been working a few years and then your salary gets kind of higher, then you can probably get higher points. But when you're applying for the F2 visa for the first time, it's usually gonna be 30 or 10 points. So the last part is kind of like optional points or additional points that you can get on top of your application. So first one is whether you're from a family like veteran, who participated in the Korean War, then you kind of get additional 20 points. The next one is, whether you have been doing some volunteering in Korea. So if you have been doing some volunteering while studying, maybe 1 to 2 years, then you get additional 1 point. Or if you have been working, doing some volunteering for more than 3 years, then you can get additional 7 points. So if you know now, maybe you're studying, then it's good to do some volunteering on the side. And the next one is it relates back to the educational background of yours. So whether if you graduated from a very prestigious, well-known university that's listed in the world's top 500, then you actually get additional points. And then next one, the last one, is the Korean Immigration and Integration Program. So it's actually a whole new different topic, but kind of, if I kind of explain it easily, it's basically a program that you have to graduate from. So you apply for that program and then you take the classes. It's taught by Korean teachers. It's not about Korean language, but it's more about Korean society, Korean history, and everything. Because you're applying for the long-term visa, long-term residence visa, so they want to give out the visa for those who really know about the Korean society, the Korean, just Korea as a country. So that's why they ask you to, get into that program. The classes are usually taught from for about 2 months or so. You can of course, choose your schedule to take the classes. But once you graduate from the program, you go and take your final exam, and then if you pass that exam, then they give you the program that you finished, the Korean society, a Korean immigration and integration program, which we usually call KIIP, right? And if you graduated from that program, then you get additional 10 points. And one thing about this program is, let's say you don't have topic exam, right? So you cannot get the points for the Korean, proficiency, right? Then you can actually go ahead and get this program. And this program also has its levels, right? So if you're graduated from the level 5 from this program, and then you take your final exam, you take the certificate, then this certificate can actually replace your Korean language proficiency topic score. So you can, not have topic certificate, but actually have the KIP certificate, then you actually get, the language proficiency points. But on the other hand, if you both have the topic and the Korean, KIP certificate, then you get your topic points, which is, if you're more than level 5, 20 points, adding 10 points for the KIP, then you get total 30 points, which is a lot. So I personally recommend you to get both topic and finish the KIP program as well, because KIP program is kind of required to get into F2 visa, right? So that is pretty much it for the point system. So if you're kind of, a little confused about this, whole point system, I can make it more clear by giving out my own calculations of my points as an example, okay? So here is how I calculated my points when I applied for my F2 visa. So let's start from the first one, the age. So I'm 26, then my age range is from 25 to 29. So I get 25 points for that. And then I graduated from a master's degree in Korea. Then I get 17 points for the educational background. And then from my Korean proficiency, I have topic 6 level. So I get the highest points, which is 20. And then for my income, my first company that I worked with, it was from the minimum to 30 million. So I got 10 points for my income. And then additional points, I didn't do any volunteering, so I didn't get any points for that. But I graduated from Yonsei, which is in the top 3, the SKY universities in Korea, and then it's also listed in the world's top 500. So I got 20 points additional for that. And then I also graduated from the KIP program, and then I passed the level 5 as well, so I get another 10 points additional. Then calculating all of my points, my total comes out as 102, which is well above than 80 points, and that is how I became eligible for getting the F2 visa. So all of these points, your educational background or your Korean proficiency and all that, you have to prove them, right? So of course you have to prepare all the documents to prove all those points. And then of course, if you're getting the F2 visa for the first time, you should be again preparing all the documents that is given out from your company, because they have to kind of see the company that you're going to work with is eligible, it's qualified and everything. So actually they give you out a list of documents in Korean to get from the company. So it's usually the company's business registration certificate, the company's tax, if the company has been paying the tax to the country well, how many workers they have and everything. So all of that documents, they're usually in Korean, so you can just give the list to your company and then they will prepare the documents for you. And then personally, you have to prepare your own documents. As I say it again, the topic certificate, your college degree, diploma and everything. So once you prepare all of that documents, then you fill out this point system as well as your application form, and then you go into, you go to the immigration office and you apply for the visa. So preparing the documents is, I would say, probably the hardest thing. It usually takes a lot of time. So I recommend getting into preparing the documents at least maybe, a month or 2 months before your application date, so that if you're missing any kind of documents, then you can always go back and then fill out. So, give yourself a good amount of time to prepare the documents. And then also from the company's side, they also usually takes a good amount of time. I told my company, that I was working, the list of the documents that I need, and then it took them around 3 weeks to give me back the documents. So also, give them time, and give also yourself some time to prepare the documents. And last thing that I want to talk about is the duration of the visa. So as I said previously, this visa is a residence visa, right? But it's not the visa that you can get once and then you can just like go on with that. You actually have to renew it. So when you first apply for the visa, depending on your points and your income, they give out a year or 3 years or 5 years. So the duration that you're gonna get the visa really depends on the officer. Some officers, that's the funnest thing about Korean immigration centers, because you literally go with the same document to one officer and they say no, and then you go to another officer with the exact same documents and then they say yes. So that's like the stressful thing. It really depends on the officer. But in the website or in the system, it actually states that the duration that they're going to give out depends on your points. So the more points you have in the point system, then the more years you can get with the visa. But, in person, actually, from my experience and from my friends' experience getting F2 visa, they actually don't really depend on the point system. They actually depend more on the income, because they want people who are getting a lot of income in Korea. So usually for people who are getting the F2 visa for the first time, usually they get 1 year. If you're really lucky, then you can get 3 years, then it's good. Then you can only renew the visa after 3 years. But that was not the case for me. I got only 1 year. So that means I had to renew the visa in a year, which I did. So actually, I got my F2 visa last year, and then I was supposed to make this video as well last year, but then I wanted to wait and renew my visa, because at that time I didn't really know whether I could renew it or not, because renewing the visa is difficult as getting the visa. So I wanted to make the video after I got the visa, renewed it successfully, so that I know I for sure have the F2 visa, right? Renewing the visa is, when you first get the visa, you have like piles of documents that you have to prepare, right? But then when you're renewing the visa, it's lesser documents. That's good, because when you renew it, you can only prove them that you're still working, that you're still earning income in Korea. So you can only show them the company's the company contract, or we call 퇴직증명서, which is a statement from the company that states that you are working in this company from when and with what kind of salary, something like that. And you can only show them that, and then you have to show them your last year's income that states that you worked full last time, that you had income last year, right? And that document you can get from the tax office. Still, if you got the visa but then you didn't work, let's say for 6-7 months, and you didn't earn any income, something like that, then of course they would not allow you to renew it. But you got the visa, you have been working, you have been earning, then of course you can renew the visa. And that's how I did it. I renewed my visa and I got another 1 year. So yeah, that is how you get the F2 visa and how you calculate your points to be eligible for that visa. So I hope I kind of explained it well. If you have any other questions, please leave a comment and then I can reply to each of them. And I hope you are also preparing for your visa or preparing to come to Korea and live here. Please do so, and I wish you good luck for getting your visa, and I'll see you in the the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.